Well, this video may suck completely because I'm stuck trying to figure out what to do with this build. But let's talk about Arco the movie. It's an animated movie that I think got Oscar nominated last year. And I wanted to watch it to see if it was good. Because last year, the Oscars for the animation category were just a complete disgrace. Like, it's straight up difficult to believe that they genuinely thought some of the things that we're nominating are okay to nominate. It has got to be like one of the worst years for the animation category because they didn't nominate the obvious thing to nominate, which was the Chainsaw Man movie. If you don't know, there's a Chainsaw Man movie. Chainsaw Man is a show. It got a movie, and they just didn't like put it there because of whatever reason. They found an excuse to not put it in the Oscars, which to me sounds stupid because it's like, bro, you're the Oscars, you know? You're the Oscars. There is literally no reason for you to bend the rules here for this movie. So it's definitely a weird situation because the action movie is pretty good. And so I ended up watching Arco to see, like, well, at least did whatever they nominate was good. And let me tell you, I thought, yeah, it was good. I liked Arco enough. It's not a perfect movie. I didn't adore it, but at least it is pretty and whatnot. The plot is just kind of a disaster. I like some of the ideas it presents, but the end of the movie is just so unsatisfying that you're just like, okay, cool. Genuinely, my response was, okay, cool. And that shouldn't be nobody's response to the end of a movie that's claiming to be like emotional and stuff. It just isn't, man. I don't know how and in what universe you can think that it's okay for a movie to end like that, but okay. It's whatever, because the point of the movie is always the animation. So, what is the movie about? This kid from the future puts on the time travel cape and time travels to what for us now would be the future. For him, it's the past. So he's in like, I don't know, 2000, the year of who knows who. 2,000 years from now. And then the girl's like 100 or 200 years from now. Something like that. So it's a sci-fi movie. And so this kid, he's going out basically. His parents tell him, "Do not go out with the funny cape. You are gonna try travel to time, and we don't know how the fuck to bring you back if you do that. So please do not travel through time without the proper guidance. You need to train to use this stupid ass cape." The kid doesn't listen. He wears it. He goes to the past and gets lost. And the entire movie is this kid wanting to return, back home. And so he finds this girl. This girl has like a robot. The parents of this girl is just a robot. Robot's taking care of the girl and her like little brother. And it's basically like a father to them. Not their actual father. Their actual biological father is out there somewhere doing job stuff. You know, it's not that unhinged. A little unhinged, but not that unhinged. No. 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 There you go. And there's also other things about the movie that kind of dug a lot. There's these characters who are like a group of people who are into time travel research. And so they kind of research into time travel and then find this kid who's actually a time traveler. And they're like, yes, we have our evidence. And they start as antagonists. And eventually they figure out how to be good and they become friendly. Oh, wow, spoilers. I don't think you're going to watch this movie. Besides, it's not that big of a spoiler. What's the big spoiler here? The fact that the guys who are quirky comic relief characters aren't actually evil? No way. But I like them because they all have like different designs. They look like a band. They look like they were just the band. The Beatles. But rainbow. And I'm not joking, they actually did have that like vibe. So it was definitely just a fun set of characters, those guys. And the movie I wish had more characters like that, because the actual kids themselves, like the little girl I talked about as well as Arco, they're not really that enjoyable. There's another third kid who gets no screen time. But again, I think the reason this happens, like it comes off a certain way, is just because it's an animated movie. They don't have time to do everything they want. With animated movies, if you add like a 10-minute cut, you literally run the risk of just delaying production and release by like 2 months or more. It just, that's how long it takes to animate. Dead ass. No, not much surprise there. All right, how does this look, guys? It's a little better. But if I'm gonna go with this, I think I may want to just let this fly off the ground. At least until this bit here. And then this bit here we can do a little bit of this, you know. Not bad. I don't hate it. But that's what tends to happen with movies that are animated. Now, do I think this movie deserves to be Oscar nominated? No, not whatsoever. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that it doesn't deserve to be, like, nominated. It's just that that year, there were other very clearly better animated things to put in there. So it's kind of weird that they genuinely went for this one. And it just feels like they went for this one because it's in French. They just said, hey, it's French, which means it's, like, fancy and stuff. Yeah, shut up. I don't think they really think thoroughly the stuff they want to nominate for the animated feature. And so I like that this movie got animated, like nominated, but it's miles behind other movies that could have gotten and used a nomination, not just for like, oh, because they're good movies, but also because even if they are good movies, it's just cool to reward the existence of other movies and other things, right? When I compare Arco to other movies that got nominated for an Oscar in recent years, animated, of course, a lot of what comes to my mind is really good movies that also failed to get nominated at the Oscars because whoever's in charge of nominating shit for the Oscars is just not in it. Genuinely, they're just not in it. They don't care. And it is exceedingly lame that they don't care. And I hate that they don't care. And it makes me sad that they don't care. Hmm. It's kind of hard to do this because then that's gonna be open. For as much as I want to lift this up one, I can't. Okay, and I will break all of this. Oops. When I compare it to like Mars Express and whatnot, I feel like I finished watching Max Express and thought to myself, hey, that movie was great. And then I finished watching this one and I thought, it's fine. And I definitely don't want my Oscar nominated movies to be is fine. So ultimately, when I think about Arco, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, it's definitely a movie that exists. And I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine. But that's pretty much it. That's as far as it goes. And that's kind of a shame, isn't it? Because, man, I love animation. I love animation, and it's kind of a shame that my takeaway from that movie is just it's a fine movie that got nominated because they didn't know what to nominate, and so they ultimately nominated it. But I always pay too much attention to Oscar nominations. The movie itself, though, I mean, I still think it was pretty neat. Again, visually, very nice. And I'm not gonna say it was like the peak of animation or whatnot, because I definitely don't think it even manages to like surprise me with how good it looked. It looks really good. It has stuff in it, but it doesn't have like crazy animation or shots and cuts that make me go, huh? What? The same way like happened with me with a bunch of stuff. I watched the show Primal, which now I'm gonna talk about in another video. Have I talked about season 3 of Primal yet? I don't think I have. I think I just completely forgot to talk about it. I gotta talk about it. And you know, the thing in Primal is that, like, that actual final season actually had multiple moments where I went like, what? This is what? What? That looks so cool. Wow, the animation. So, I don't know. Point is, Arco wasn't that fine. And we're finished with this thing. I think I'm gonna go with a flat bottom though. Like I think I'm gonna flatten this bit. So it just ends on a you know, if that makes sense. Around here. It's kinda weird because I'm gonna have to shorten this, and I hope it doesn't intrude on stuff. But I think it's gonna look a little better. Maybe I can do the back here all of glass, but for now, give me a little bit of this. I really need to learn how to build shit in this game. No, I can't do that. What I can do is this. Or maybe this. Ta-da! Alright. Uh, I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. I want to have a space base that's like not regular and normal looking, and I want to have something interesting. This would be interesting to look at, but it's also piss ugly. I need to add details and whatnot, and stuff that makes this wall interesting. Because currently it's not interesting. It needs bits and bobs and doodads and thingies and borders and buttons and shit. I'm gonna rack it up. And hopefully next video I have something to show, because I need to be satisfied with this, whatever I built here, before I actually start thinking about bringing it over to the real world in survival, where we have a long grind of quartz ahead of us, don't we? And all of this to make a farm, to make another farm. Alright. Well, see you all next time. Oh, yeah. Arco. Tier list. B. B tier's fine.